So, the patch has been out for a day or two, and I haven't played a lot of it. Kind of staying away from a little bit of the DP battles because of that really bad health bug glitch. So I was like, you know what, let's just hop in a player match singles and try some characters out because, you know, I don't really want to risk rank right now when it'd just be a lot funner, a lot less stressful to just play singles. And one of the big things I want to check on first form cell here was transforming into second form cell and going for that new grab. But as you can see, a lot more, it's not as aggressive this time, like a lot of the fighting, and we'll kind of see how it progresses through different players and different fights, things like that. But I kind of just wanted to try this guy out here and see what his grabs are like. They're techable now, but since they're technically faster and you kind of get the same buffs, the same amount of health, same amount of ki, I feel like it's almost a little better. The fact that it's not untechable or ungrabbable and it made it a lot slower, but now it's a lot faster. So I'm like, dude, look at that, and I get it off there. He does tech it, but almost like at the last second, and I'm really trying to get one of these off here. He goes into G2 Goku, who I'm considering playing on my DP team once DP is back up and running, because Super Saiyan 4 Goku has gotten huge buffs, and that there, I was like, ain't no way
He just left like that.
Yeah, no,
There's
he didn't
no
leave.
way he left. No, okay, just bad internet, I guess. Wow, okay.
And it wasn't bad internet. So you're gonna hear me a little bit going back and forth. I recorded a little bit of live comms and then some post comms here. But yeah, that's just another big issue running to, is just he didn't disconnect or DC or close the game. The internet just pooped out, like the server just was like, nope. And that's a really big issue because it can kind of cost you if they end up ever putting in a DP like ranked Twitter penalty. And I just, you know, there's way too many disconnection issues in online games nowadays to really try to put a penalty like that in. And that's all I gotta say about it. Let's dive right back in, because that Z-burst dash was indeed two key bars, and I think that's a little excessive. I think they should they'll find the sweet spot at like 1.5 bars. It allows you enough aggressive gameplay without really costing you too much ki. And I think, yeah, I don't think it's that bad of a change. I just think it needs to go down to 1.5, and then I think at the same time, since androids kind of keep getting really strong just because their regeneration rate of ki is pretty high, I think that just needs to be nerfed a little bit. Put Z-burst dash at 1.5 bars, and I think the game would be really good. I am actually a big fan of how it is right now. Can't lie, after the post update. Granted, you know, there's some issues, some bugs, some little things that need to be fixed, but overall, I feel like it's a pretty solid patch. And one of the big things here, as you can see, is once I transform into second form cells, that I get all my ki back. That is going to be huge. Mark my words, that's going to be huge in DP battles and singles battles, which I'm going to be playing mostly until they fix that bug. They got an hour-long video, tons of single battles up. So a lot of characters we're going to be able to analyze. And I hit him here one more time with the super attack that drains his health. Very nice, get a huge chunk of health back. He instant parries that and then transforms into Super Saiyan 4 Goku, someone who I do play against, but also do want to play a little bit more, just because his new buff is so strong. You can get easy 12,000, 15,000, 17,000 damage, either, you know, combo or super attack off. Within those 5 seconds, man, that changes the whole tide of the battle. But I go into cell, so I'm like, I want to go ahead and take care of this guy. And as you can see, a lot of people are using Perception a lot more. You'll see it in a couple other battles with some different against some different characters where they use it really smart, but there's still ways to counter it. I think there's a lot of good counterplay here. I haven't really found anybody that's...
in 5 seconds if he explodes.
Still this week for our next encounter.
Sorry, I had to be quiet for this cell voice line. It's amazing. It's very intimidating. But yeah, first form cell I still like. I think he's still usable, especially with second form cell getting a faster grab now. So I think he's going to be actually better. So I do want to, I'll probably use him a little bit more. And then who am I playing against here? Is this, this might be first Ultra Instinct user. I have to pick cell games because at this point I'm kind of running the gauntlet. I started the lobby and then a bunch of people are playing. I'm like, man, it was actually a really fun lobby. A lot of people coming in and out. A couple Z ranks. So, you know, I get my revenge on some Z ranks. And here, I had to check out Subaru. Like, man, is Subaru still good? I know that the Donut Volley on Boo Tanks is a lot slower now, and I think I might throw it here, or if not, I throw it a little bit later in the video. But very thematic versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku, kind of. And it's not great, but they're still usable. I think Super Boo is good now, as long as you don't have to rely on, you know, as long as you didn't rely on that super beforehand, you're probably still going to enjoy Super Boo. I think he's still really good. One of the big things is the Majin Beam, and since that it's a range attack, much like lightning, much like Master Roshi's lightning surprise attack, but it is great. I'm a big fan of it, and I think it's close range, and if you just get off the right time, it's just fun turning your opponents into candy. Like, I really don't know what else to say about it. It's just fun. Turning them into candy is my favorite thing. And Super Saiyan 3 Goku is also another guy I want to try out, but I tried going for a combo there that I seen on one guy's YouTube video and did not work out in my favor. But I'm recovering, and it's a lot more combo based. And look at that thematic camera. Very thematic camera. The Vanish Wars being a lot faster here, I am challenging everybody to Vanish Wars because I want to get the timing down to make the Vanish Wars as long as possible if I really need to. You can see Super Saiyan 3 Goku did use instant transmission, and I feel like it really got nerfed pretty hard here. I was right about that. He teleported behind me, and I pretty much instantly saw him after I transformed. I don't know if that was maybe a timing thing, but instant transmission, even in some later fights, is almost kind of just used to close the gap now instead of using your Z-dash burst and your key. That's really the tool that it's kind of used for now instead of having people lock off. I haven't had too many issues with that, actually. And here you can see he's kind of putting on the hands, but there's a lot more side steps, like you can see. A lot more side steps. And he's just perceptioning. A lot of people are just perceptioning too because they don't know. I think people are getting impatient. They're like, oh, there's nothing happening, no perceptioning, or, you know. And they just kind of get impatient, and they'll just hold. So you can punish him really bad. See, instant transmission, once again, didn't lock off for very long. Normally should have killed me there, but it didn't. I go for the Vanish Wars here because I'm like, man, very risky. Live on one, but he swings and misses. And this is why I love the Majin Beam, man. Turn him into a snack. Kick him, and he is gone. And he is out of there. Very good game.
That was so close.
Yes. Okay, so in this second round here, I do want to show a little bit of the menus and that you can reveal your team options to your opponent. Pretty cool. I always like revealing who I'm playing with because it kind of gives them a fair gauge of who to play against me. But this is another character that I really actually kind of want to do. I'm excited for DP and all the changes, but I cannot get past that health bug in the last 60 seconds. You can pretty much swap out your whole team if you're low DP enough and swap all of them and get the full health. But I digress. I want to add Kale to my DP team, but that will have to wait. I'm just excited for the future of DP battles. And I'm taking on Goku's Saiyan here. And the thematic cameras, I will say for the uplifts, I do like a lot more. It feels a little more arcadey. I think that's a great feel. Some of them people are missing. He's somehow, for some reason, charging the water, and yeah, terrible internet. Something you're going to see, I think, only a couple times in this video, luckily. But still, it actually helps you get your timing down, which is why I stayed in the game. It shows you, like, at what frame, you know, like how close the arm really has to be for you to vanish it entirely, and it's really good. Look at that, right there. I know exactly where I have to vanish. And I'm punishing that. I actually am a big fan of how Vanish Wars changed. And for some reason, one thing I did not know about this Kale is that she's like a Pokemon. She has a split transformation. She can pick one or the other. She cannot go into one and then also into the other. It's one or the other. Something that I didn't realize about her and found out this fight, and I was like, oh man, that's tough. He goes for a rush attack there, and since I charged my sparking, it actually was like a mini explosive wave and stopped him from considering that rush attack. And as you can see, sometimes the buttons, when you're trying to transform or something, are just not as responsive. They're still having that issue. And I go here and head and transform into Berserk. And I see him going for that grab. I sidestep it. And then I go for my ult. But he's already in that Wild Sense and kicks me out of my ult. Kudos to him. I had to applaud him. That was actually just very well timed. It was going to kick anybody out of their ult. And then, just as he's on his low and last health bar, he transforms, gives him a little more health bar, a little more boost. He goes for this. And first of all, I sidestep that. Second of all, it's still easy enough to vanish. It's actually extremely easy to vanish as long as you're not in a knockdown. If someone's going for that over distance, you get hit by that, you're just bad. I'm sorry. That is the only thing here. And then we go for more Vanish Wars, which I'm actually glad to think that one went a little further than the other Vanish Wars. And for some reason, he's just letting me charge. But one of the things you can do out of a charge, if you see somebody doing that, because you're in an animation, is that you have to just stop charging and charge towards them, or just Z-burst dash, take the key loss, and then win in a little mini game. I popped my ult here off. He's in the hard knockdown because he tried blocking a rush attack with no key. Gets punished for it, and you see a wonderful pale ult underwater.
Worst internet connection of my entire life.
Yeah, I summed that up there. Worst internet connection of my life. And I keep playing a bunch of characters that hate Goku. I don't know if that's just... I don't know if that's kind of saying something subliminally, but let's go ahead and get on the next one, which is actually a spectator. So I was watching this guy because I beat him earlier, and I wanted to see if he still was using the same tricks against these lower ranked noobs.
I put that motherfucker in the dirt so bad last time. He can wait his turn and earn his way back to me.
Alrighty. So this guy, I might have the replay saved of me beating him, but he was kind of running the lobby, and then he eventually came back, so that's why I wanted to really spectate this fight and see if he was doing the same thing. He's basically really good at perception spamming. Last time he wasn't playing Deborah. Deborah does have the after image strike, and it is buff, and I think some people don't know how to play against it yet, or never learned how to play against it, so it's actually still as difficult. The Goku Black here, one, has really bad connection, but he's going for perceptions a lot, and he's overusing it. I'm telling you, people are overusing this, and I think another way, if you want to tune perception, I think just make it drain a little faster. Make it drain the key a little faster when you're sitting there, and it's actually really going to punish people for perception spamming, and if you're charging key and, like, are able to punish them. You're able to punish them now, but it would really punish them. And as you can see, that one... Yeah, connection issue. And he's spamming perceptions. They're actually kind of both doing it, but yeah, once again, another disconnect. So that's what, 2 disconnects in like 5-6 games, just for no reason. Both players are still here. Okay, we're here for the run back with Mr. 2TV, Deborah.
Such exquisite evil. Your black-hearted soul will be a
I was not aware that was Deborah's walk-in line like that. You can skip the dialogue, but sometimes I do like seeing it between unique characters or during certain matchups. So once again, another perception there.
Perception.
Yeah, perception spammer. You can hear me saying it. He's just, you know, he's hitting it a lot. He's hitting those really well, and that's just another great, I'll be honest, it's another great way to, people are going to get really sick of that really fast. People are going to find out how well people are going to be Sonic Swaying, taking care of that key, keeping that key low, and pressuring you. They're not going to like it, so, like I said, make perception costs a little more to just hold like that. Hitting him with some disgusting combos here for 10,000. Some combo mix-ups I have not seen before, and he must have learned these somewhere else, because when I was fighting him, he did not do it. But he wasted a whole key bar there, holding perception, and then just spams it again as soon as anybody gets within punching distance. That needs to be tweaked, I should say. I think that needs to be tweaked, just like the timing for the Super Vanish was. Goku Black with a nice Vanish Assault there, something I think you will see a little bit more.
To be fair, the Goku Black has terrible internet connection, but he's also just standing perception and standing there holding his finger out as well. He's doing a terrible job of assaulting this.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a live comment here, like I said. Try my best to not talk over myself. And Goku Black had no way to kind of really take care of Deborah there because he didn't have enough key. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's like he's going to die with 6 skill counters here. How do you not use any of those?
This man is going to die with 5 skill counters. What is he doing?
Like, how have you not used those to, I don't know, revenge counter, instant teleport, use a skill or something like that, but that was a pretty easy cleanup there by Deborah. Now let's see what it's like when he faces a real player. I forgot, the lobby disconnected after that, so we actually didn't get the run back. I think this is the start of my own lobby, where I am once again playing Kale to try her out, see what her combos are like, and hopefully eventually squeeze her in on a DP team. Now, this fight, I know, listen, I understand it's a Zarbon, I understand that, but this guy beats a Z rank later on, so there is something we can learn from this fight, I promise you that. He's doing a lot of charge attacks, which is pretty good, and something that I've you can kind of loop people in a little bit. And very powerful sights up there to get out of that. They're super low on ki. I'm like, dude, I can take the Vanish War on this guy easy. And I guess I mistimed how many Vanishes I had there. Because I could have sworn I had one more. As you can see, I'm trying to perception there. At least hit him down on the ground. I do get the nice Vanish off, at least on the ground assault, or whatever that one is from the sky. Super counters. Man, super counters. We haven't seen a lot of them up till now, but they really get you out of a pickle, and they're a lot more important. Timing there on that super attack, I don't think that one has been slowed down, but the timing there to dodge it does seem a lot closer and does not seem to be as lenient. He didn't have those 2 skill bars there, so he just kind of like just spammed Ki Blast and then came from really far distance while I was charging up. I was fair to take that exchange just to kind of see how, to see how it plays out, because it's like now I'm in Sparking. I think Sparking is going to be a lot more deadly now. It's going to be a lot more dangerous. In the right hands, I should say. I just ripped my ult because I'm like, dude, I'm so far behind, I might as well throw this. I don't think this is unguardable, by the way. I think I just happened to catch him in a sidestep. So you cannot abuse a sidestep, you have to be really careful because Sparking will punish you. Sidesteps, you're gonna be caught. You're gonna be caught if you're this far away. You need to be a lot closer. I pop a Wild Sense and realize that charging underwater is not the way to go. I'm throwing Ki Blast at him, even though he's in Sparking, and he just wastes his instantly. So far away, just throws it, and then he has no Ki to try to get to me. And so you can see he's just kind of slowly floating towards me and unable to throw Ki, so he's just out of Ki. And then he Perceptions there, and I think the reason that I was able to hit him is because he actually ran out of Ki using Perception. But Hail's proving to be pretty useful, kind of beefy, and I think this one might be a 7 cost, and the other Berserk form is also a 7 cost. So, can get past the super armor really nice. Let's go ahead and get into rematch here with Zarbon. He does go into Super Zarbon, but let's see if he still makes the same mistakes. Because the big thing is like, oh, I made a mistake. Can you capitalize on it? Learn from it. Adapt and try to beat your opponent. And I know that I kind of have an advantage just being the higher DP character here, but Zarbon is useful enough to where he can definitely win the game. As the last game he got me down pretty low, I just happened to rip an ult, it really paid off for me. He got like 4,000, 5,000 extra damage off on me, but I got a whole ult off, so he kind of paid for it by spending his Ki recklessly. He might not have even had enough Ki to vanish it. That could have been his issue too, because he was actually running really low on Ki. And I see him just hard spam like that, so I'm like, dude, let me get a Perception in on this guy, drain his Ki, and go to the ceiling where he can't touch me. And now Super Zarbon does not get Ki on transformation, so it's a transformation you're probably not going to unfortunately see too much. And I'm just ripping attacks, unsure why. I don't know if he got a little more health there, maybe I never got his health that low, but he's just fighting ghosts. And I rip a super explosive wave thinking that he won't be prepared for this, or maybe expecting a blast to try to teleport or hit me out of. He's going for a lot of perceptions, and I'm kind of just waiting to get the second sidestep in. That's like the real difference maker here, is whoever gets that second sidestep is and didn't throw Gut Punch is probably going to be the safer of the two there. I let him get a Sparking, and I keep throwing Ki Blast at him out of like habit. And I really want to work on getting people lower and kind of wasting their Sparking timeout. He makes a... normally, I feel like would have been a not bad Zarbon play. The ultimate, I guess, can be vanished. I didn't know that. I thought it was like a grab, and I was going to go to try to parry it. My timing just happened to match up well and vanish it. And he's once again just throwing more Perception. So I'm like, dude, I'm just going to keep throwing Ki Blast at you if you're only going to Perception, because that's how you're going to punish him. And he just kind of doesn't know what to do. Gets slammed to the ground. But keep an eye on your Ki management, folks. That is what you're learning from that one. Do not worry why I took a screenshot of that, okay? Do not worry about that. On to the next one. Oh, as you can see, you can now reveal your team to your opponent so they know who to expect. And he also does the same, so I can see what it looks like. Oob is who he's going to be using this time. And I wanted to go into Trunks specifically because I want to try some characters with some different buffs. Because apparently buffs are a lot better. Should hopefully be a good use of your skill counters.
In the time chamber too, I hope the results are evident.
And I want to see what Oob has, because he has some I mean, I really like Oob. Oob's got some really good skills. His instant Sparking is now up to 4. And I think Majub is still just useless, but look at that cinematic camera. A combo that I hit him with a ton. And I think a combo that's going to be really popular kind of in the higher ranks is just getting those hard knockdowns in. And I know it's not something that's completely unavoidable, and you can get out of it if you like spin your joystick or hit your joystick up and down. You can get out of the hard knockdowns if you do it fast enough. But getting hard knockdowns is going to be really crucial in punishing people, because it's just going to give you a ton of time to charge ki. And if they have no tools to get out of it, like you're just going to win the key management war. You're going to win the resource war. You're going to win the vanishes, hopefully, and you're going to be able to just handle bid like that. You know, it's a lot different. Different. The game's changed. The game's changed. He goes into Majube, which I kind of like because Majube is a transformation that does keep his ki. I go into Buff Trunks and once again hit him with a very hard knockdown. He wastes a Mystic Breath there. I'm like, man, let me just go ahead and use a 2 key bar, Z Burst dash, close the range. And we're just dashing here. We're just dashing and perceptioning because I was like, I just wanted to see if he was going to be aggressive at any point since I've been punishing him for that. He gets a nice hard banish. I tried going for... What did I banish this? Ooh, no, but that one is sidesteppable because I think I was like at the far end of that range. If it was any closer, I might not have been able to sidestep it. I go pop into my sparking here, trying to rip off some damage. I go ahead and get some distance between us, and I'm like, dude, I'm just going to end this with a burning attack. Good signature move. And then he deflects it like it ain't no big problem. Gets his key charge increased and makes it way faster to charge the key. Hits me in a hard knockdown. That move, unfortunately, is just really, really bad. Hits me once for like 1,000 damage. And I try to go for the KO slap here because Trunks' side special move is like a slap that turns him around. So try going for it. Back to back to teach him, quit holding perception, son. Quit holding perception. I hit him with some backhands. But even going into Majube did not save him. All that key, if you don't put it to good use, man, you're gonna be toast. You're gonna get punished a lot more with people who actually know how to combo. And if you super counter, that is great. You better hope you can super counter 3 or 4 in a row because I'm gonna vanish each and every one of those and then punish you for it. Because I have 8 more key bars than you. But let's go ahead and get into match 2 with this Oob here. Because like I said, this guy does beat a Z rank later on. With a character that you probably would not expect. And I'm going for a lot of side dash and into okay, I was gonna say into gut punches. Because not every character has that same gut punch sidestep, so I was just testing it out with Trunks again and maybe trying to get some perceptions off. See how easy it was to get perceptions on players who want to be overly aggressive. Because sometimes I want to be overly aggressive. I want to see how good it is for punishing players that want to be overly aggressive. And I'm hoping he takes this, kind of takes that approach to me since I was able to damage him a lot last time. Another unique interaction is that he went for a rush super there, and since I had my charged up attack, it kind of neutralized it, and it kind of acted like a neutral flash where he just kind of kept flying. He goes into Majube here and does this signature into Majube Majin Beam. I tried dodging it, but I must have been at that far end. And he turns me into chocolate and literally kicks me across the stage. Unfortunate. And I go for the boost here, Finish Shine, because I know that's one of his other skills. And the first one being Explosive Wave, which is really, really good now in the meta. A lot more interruption. Sidesteps that, unfortunate. Showing you why Z-Burst Dash can be punished. I go for the signature combo. I think adding like an extra 20%. I think I did that one at the start of the game for about 6,500, and that one was for 8,000. I thought he was going for the Beam Clash there. I know that Majube doesn't have a beam, but I thought maybe that one would count. And I cut right through all of his little useless key blasts and turn them to ashes. On to the next one. Showing a little hesitancy in who I want to pick. I do scroll over Oob, but there's another character that's been calling my mind, and that's Turtle.
Let's play.
Oh, he gonna beat my ass. He got Android 17. Oh, hell no.
Because of Turtles' new buffs and the Fruit of the Tree of Might, I wanted to try him out. But like I said, like I was just saying earlier there, if you couldn't hear me, This is Android 17. The androids are still really good, and I wanted to see how this fight was going to go. Because it's same player, just, you know, different character. He switched it up. We kept switching up our players here. I don't instant teleport that, and he's very low on ki, something I took so much damage that I stopped looking at how much ki he had. And if I knew that he didn't have anything, I would have gone to the roof and made him either chase me down or throw ki blast at me. But I banished that one by the skin of my teeth. And I'm trying to go in for the sparking there, and I know I'm getting punished for it a lot, but I'm hoping it's like the Kale fight where I get the sparking off and it's worth it. I go for the banishes here, hoping to do a little extra damage. And then I rip my ultimate. I really wanted to pop the Fruit of the Tree of Might and then my ultimate. I just don't think he was going to let me do that, so I rip it. And look how cinematic this is. So tough, so tough. But it does give you a base damage without the buff. So 15,750 without the Fruit of the Tree of Might. Oh, is that down to 2? Was that might have been buffed. I thought it was 3 skill points before, but now it's 2. I could be hallucinating. And look at this timing. I'm trying to get a nice banish assault on this guy because I notice he's low on ki, and I just want to get the string going and see how much damage I can do with the new kind of like chase banishes. Wherever you're in the air, you kind of chase him down. My attacks, I don't know if that pole is messing me up, dude, but sometimes my guy just starts fighting a different demon. He throws a lot of these off. I eat my Fruit of Might thinking, hey man, this will punish me. That Vanish Assault missing was so well timed and it just didn't land. I don't know what it was, man. I don't know if he sidestepped out of it. And this guy was perceptioning a lot. That was so well timed that it just did not connect. That is so unfortunate.
Was actually pretty bold of you.
But that's just GG's to him. That's fair on the perceptions. I was just getting a little too aggressive. I could have still punished him with ki, you know? I could have punished him with ki. But the androids, like I said, dude, they get so much passive recovery that I don't think they're going to have the same problems that Zarbon was having earlier where they're going to run out of ki. They're just always going to have so much. And I think the second match is not even closer. I think it's a lot further apart. He's realizing how well he can take advantage of Android 17 and that. Oh my god, excuse me. That passive ki. So I realized I got to start throwing more combos at him. And I think it's the first time I realized that I had those ki blasts and I could probably use those to try getting a little bit of different entry damage or paralysis on him. Does not work, unfortunately. And I'm actually taking a little more health than he is off me at the start of this fight. But he is going to have the ki advantage here because we're just standing in the middle of the city dashing. And he wins this minigame. I don't know what caused it. And I try to go for the banishes there. For the banish moves with extra ki. And I don't, man, that hitting me is really unfortunate. I was like next to him. And it like on his right side, and the beam came out his left side. I don't know. I'm butthurt about that. But I do see that he has the 1 ki here, and I do punish him by flying straight into the air, charging up Ultimate Sparking because he doesn't have enough to Z-Burst dash. And then, as soon as I'm about to beat him, wow, this has been happening way too fucking often, man. Way too often. Another communication error. Yeah. Way too often. As you can see, he didn't leave. He knew, you know, like, he would have taken the L happily. Like, I was playing a lot of matches. He's a good player. And the fact that we just can't even get it. And now we have a whole different, like, you know, the fight's going to take a lot of different circumstances now. A lot of different flips and turns because he got disconnected. I would like to have thought that I would have won that last one. Got the Fruit Tree off and in my sparking. And I would have hit him for a ton of damage, probably KOing him. But I guess we'll never know. On to game 3. I don't change characters here, but he does. And this is not going to be great. I immediately skipped the intro because I don't think I can really do a lot to Omega Ascension. I'm pretty sure he's sitting at 7 DP, and he has that super armor. There's kind of ways to get around it, but I just do not play well around it this match. He does a lot of the charged supers, which I think pairs really well with that super armor for a lower DP character like Turtles. And the only time that I'm really able to get him is when I have my Fruit of Tree buff. But as you can see, he's just sidestepping here, and I can't really do much to... I'm not doing a very good job of it, of kind of punishing him for it. I throw a skill driver here. He throws a terrible super. The one thing I know about Sin Shinron is that he has terrible supers, and none of them are good. So I popped the Fruit of Tree of Might, and we kind of get a little bit of the fisticuffs there. Go into the Banish Wars, and I'm glad to get this damage off on him and get a little bit of extra skill counter. But, dude, those sidesteps are just too much for me, man. He is just fucking, he's like a circus. He is just Ty Lee, whatever that girl is from Avatar that's just cartwheeling around all the time. That's what he's doing. He throws the other useless trap shooter super at me. I try grabbing, he takes it, and then we just get into like a Mexican standoff with our grabs here, or with our side steps. I pop my Predator in mine one more time, hoping that, man, I might be able to get a combo here that can change the flow of the game. And then he goes into Mega Shitter. I'm like, dude, all right, this is probably done. This is not looking too good for the boy here. I might be. Yeah, and then he rips off this. Something that I have noticed is that the timing for transforming into an instant super seems a lot easier to get now. He does a ton of damage there for me actually blocking that. And I know he doesn't have any ki, so he can't really chase me down. But I'm like, dude, one ki blast and I'm done, so I have to be the aggressor there. And then he just takes advantage of that and punches me. And that's the end of Turles. So I'm like, you know what, Turles, I'm going to go ahead and put you in the back pocket for now. And maybe with a lower DP character, I'll try you out. But for right now, you didn't do too good of a job, Turles. I'm sure I'll see you and you won't be beating me, right? Alright, Turles?
Wild Z ranker. Let's see how this turns out against B5.
Alrighty. Like I told you, this is the Z ranker that we do run across, running Caulifla, who is a really good character, and the one big mistake he doesn't make this game is not transforming. And Koala, the gentleman we've been playing all game, who has mixed it up, swapped characters, and found a little bit of a groove, has swapped into Nappa.
You're a cocky brat, aren't you? If you can beat me, I'll put in a good word to Lord
Nappa
Frieza.
and Caulifla having, I don't think those are really special dialogue. I think that's just a dialogue that Caulifla has with any other Saiyan. But one of the big things I want you to notice about this fight here with this Caulifla and Nappa is that normally Caulifla should have the advantage because they're about, I think she's one a higher DP character, but also she's a little smaller, and if you've ever been a bigger character fighting a smaller character, you know that sometimes your ki blast and stuff will just go right over their head. The Nappa here going for a very obvious super, but since he still has super armor, Caulifla throws a charge ki blast and just gets punished for it because it bounces off the super armor. And while the health is pretty even right now, and Koala did have the higher starting HP, it's looking to be a close fight. As you can see, even the other guys in the lobby are liking it. Caulifla's going for the Banish Wars here on the Nappa, and this guy's going for very obvious super, something that he did a lot even in my games. And I think you're going to see people doing that a lot more, just kind of hoping to get some damage off. He gets a sparking charge here because Nappa wasted all his ki and could not close the gap. And then he just absolutely wastes it on a terrible angle. And there goes all of his ki. Luckily, he does have a skill counter, but now that's also gone with that super perception. Nappa's sitting with 4 skill counters, bar in like 60%. Caulifla is sitting with 1 skill counter at 1 bar. This is just not looking great. Another raw super for some reason, but this one does actually catch because I guess it's more of a tracking super. Something I don't know. I have not used that one very much. I know it's, I think Omega Shinron has something similar like that, and so does maybe Metal Cooler. And then Caulifla's bringing it back with a super dank combo here. 15 hits, 8700 damage, and then just kind of gets vanished on. And you think, oh man, it's going to be this one right here with the super counter.
Oh man, that was down to the wire. Down to the wire.
Close.
That was
A lot
fun.
more health than Nappa and a lot more defense
children's
though. So
games.
Z rank did pretty good. Probably should have transformed. Alrighty, a new game, a new character. Who am I gonna pick today? And it's Frieza. It's Super Frieza. I'm revealing my team to my opponent. I was maybe trying to see if he was gonna reveal his team, and I could maybe kind of get some special dialogue going on. That does not work out here. But I think this is the guy that. Oh, is this the same gentleman that I was fighting earlier that wanted a rematch? And I was like, nah, he's got to earn his way back to the top. Whoever it is taking a million years to pick their character. I mean, buddy, they just changed the character select screen. It shouldn't take this long to get used to it. Wake up. There's also a function on the character select screen that will let you change back to the original character select screen.
The soul
Fun
wheel
fact.
Him using my own
insane.
character against me is pretty disrespectful. I just whooped him with this guy. Come on, man.
Worse than what I experienced in that
So with
wretched
the Frieza
hellscape.
Super Saiyan Trunks matchup,
Jesus come back to life?
how does this happen? So yes, the audio does change a little bit here. It gets a little quieter. Hopefully I can adjust it and turn it up so you don't notice that. But I sometimes mess with my settings in OBS and I regret it later. This is a little bit late into the gameplay. But we do go for the Banish Words here, something that I do like a lot because I want to get my timing down like I said earlier. But since he's out of key, I'm like, dude, how do you want to approach this? And while I don't want to say I'm playing passively, I am playing, I guess, a little more kind of laid back. I'm just kind of punishing you that if you use all your ki, I'm going to go ahead and probably try to charge mine, and then I'll go ahead and push you in. I'm not going to be waiting with full ki across the map, you know. I'm going to be getting aggressive on you. I just want to go ahead and punish you for what you're doing right now. And like I played the Trunks earlier, pretty good combos, a nice little gut punch, nice little buff system. So a pretty formidable opponent, and he's going for a lot of those like hard charge smash attacks from really far away because you can't get stunned out of those with ki blasts anymore. So you know, muscle memory will take over sometimes, and you be trying to shoot ki blast at somebody, it does not work anymore. And I instantly transform and go for the super attack, but he's ready for that and does the deflect. In case you guys did not know, you can do that with for most super attacks, beams, and rush attacks by holding the perception. And you can hold the perception all day long. You have to have 2 skill counters, and as soon as it's about to hit you and you would normally vanish, you're going to go ahead and flick your stick to the left or to the right at the same time that you're about to get hit, and that will deflect the super and slap me away like that one just did there. You don't really get too much of a bonus from it for rush attacks. You just get a little extra damage, but for beam attacks, you do get increased charge rate, which actually might play a little bit heavier since ki's a little more sparse now in ranked. But let's go ahead and see how game 2 turns out. But this time it's me against a Z rank, right? What could possibly go wrong? I'm gonna go ahead and take it to the land of the Kais, my home turf, right? And I'm like, dude, Turtles did not work out. I can't pick Turtles against a Z rank, right? I go ahead and switch my character to who? Oh, to Vegito. Because I'm a big Vegito fan. I'm like, dude, I haven't played Vegito a lot. It's a good time to maybe use a higher ranked character against a Z ranker in DPs, because I want to have that super armor in case someone picks a high DP character. Singles, they probably will. And then he mirror matches me for Turtles, and you guys just need to see how this one turns out, because you know I explain it at the end here, but in case you don't hear it, maybe I'm like you know, I'm gonna go ahead and give him this win. It's a pity win, so that way he gets hooked in place, because he lost to a B5 before this, and I'm like, dude, he's gonna leave the lobby if he loses 2 in a row, right? So I'm like, you know, let me go ahead and just give him this game. He'll stay in the lobby, maybe, you know, get a couple more wins, and then I'll come back and win that one. So this is the prelude to that. I promise you I set that all up in my mind in 5 seconds right before I picked my character. We go for the Banish Words here, something that he is a little bit better at initially, but this is why I'm very happy to take it, because, hey, look, I win some Banish Words sometimes too. He uses his fruit of the tree of might. Man, that's a tongue twister for no unnecessary reason. I go into sparking there. I'm able to get sparking off, and I don't want to like just rip alts or supers, especially since Ki's really good now. I kind of want to take advantage of it and just go, you know, just kind of get some hands in. But he's really good at getting the perceptions or whatever else he's doing. Gets my back. I am now out of sparking. He wins the Vanish War. Charging Ki, and for some reason, instead of me kind of just charging more Ki or stopping him charging it, I just go in for the slow walk. I don't know why. I don't know why I did that. And I think that's the farthest we've been in a Vanish War. That might have been like 4 right there. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to brag or nothing, but 4 is pretty good. Oh, and then I beat him on that one. Get some more extra damage until he gets a super counter off there. That's that was just good timing on his part. Super counters, learning that skill's gonna be a lot better. I'm trying to go into Super Vegito here, and I know what you're thinking. Oh my god, this guy's using Super Vegito. Yes, I had to. After Image Strike got nerfed, I never used After Image Strike on this guy, and he has buffs, so I want to see how good his buffs are. I do play really well here in getting this Turtles out of his sparking and wasting a lot of his time. Something that I was actually super proud of, like in the moment. I was like, yeah, I'm kind of like messing this guy up real bad. I go ahead and throw my finish line off. He gets the close-in gap because he has the zebra stash. I do not dodge that. I don't dodge that. I should have probably done something a little better there. And he's actually going to show off how much damage you can get with the ult and the Fruit of the Tree.
I took it easy on him. I felt bad. Come on now.
I'm still alive, unfortunately. But as you might have been able to hear there, I was like, man, I took it easy on him. You know, I understood I was putting a lot of pressure on him early. And I had to try out the final Kamehameha, right? That was in the keynote. That was in the keynotes. That was in the patch notes. It takes an extra key bar, does a little extra damage. I was just trying to see something on it, you know? He goes for the kill driver. I'm like, dude, I'm going to go for the banish. I miss it, and I lose. But do not worry. Do not worry.
I let him win. I felt bad, you know.
I get my run back.
Turtles can't break through super armor, so I had to make this guy feel good, especially after he got mopped by the B5. Come on now. This is a pity win. You got to give him one so they stay in, or else he's going to leave.
Here, you're going to go ahead and see his signature character in that Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But he's against the mighty Super Saiyan 2 Kaba. So how is this going to turn out for him? Because Kaba, that guy beat Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta on the regular for no reason. And this is basically half the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So Goku is not winning the Intimidating Presence War here. That's Kaba's to win. A nice little banish war to send the Super Saiyan 4 Goku away. And he does actually waste the Zebra Stash. And actually wins out of it until Kaba gets the Perception off, draining of all of his ki. And now Kaba's sitting super pretty at like 4 key bars. Super Saiyan 4 Goku is kind of struggling. They get into the Vanish War, and that actually goes a little farther, but Super Saiyan 4 Goku pulls out on top. And this is something that you're going to see a lot. First of all, great instant transmission. It seems maybe a little faster, but just gets his back and is able to do an insane amount of damage to him in that time. I thought he maybe was going to banish that. No, just instant transmission it like a boss. Kaba going for the revenge counter here. I think Kaba's more going for the revenge counter because when a revenge counter lands, you get 1 key bar. You get 1 key bar. So I think that he might be going for that. And this was this guy's signature move. I'm going to beat you in 5 seconds. And then instant throwing into his super once he has enough ki. He always makes sure that he goes for the charge, gets enough ki, and then goes for the
very bold
5 seconds,
decision
so
by
he can beat you in 5 seconds.
Very bold.
And I realized that after watching him, something I did, you know, you can still get an advantage on players by watching them and learning how they play and noticing their patterns so you can beat them. But what happens here in match 2 of Super Saiyan 4 Goku versus Gogeta? Let's hop in.
You can never beat me. We've combined our powers, but that's not all. We've taken them to new levels.
So, he seems to be wanting to take down a lot of fusion characters here. Gogeta goes in, wastes all of his ki right off the bat. Super Saiyan 4 Goku charging in his face. He was holding the guard there, that Gogeta. Not sure why. You're about 15 feet away from the guy. I don't think he can punch you from there. I'm not sure if that was another banishing assault, but a great super counter there. A revenge counter, which then does get parried because it only does cost 1 skill counter to perception that now instead of the 2 it took prior. So a lot easier to kind of get rid of those revenge counters and make them almost useless, pretty much nullifying their usability. Another banish war here into another revenge counter, which just gets perceptioned. I don't think this guy learned his lesson that first time. He does go for the... he does get the banish war win there, and as you can see, someone's just glazing chat. Someone's glazing right there. He's liking the hell out of it. He's throwing some spirit bombs. He's liking the fight that's going on. And Super Saiyan 4 Goku really hasn't lost more than like a bar and a half. He's going for the beat you in 5 seconds, and then for the super. See? I told you immediately, every time. It's like clockwork with this guy, as a big pattern. I think I talk about how they start glazing this guy right now. Another perception on the revenge counter. Just disgusting work that man has not learned. And then he just catches the super counter. Man, he just eats it. Not with all the boost though, so he will live it.
Someone is glazing this guy. 23 likes? Man, they really own it, huh?
Yeah, you can hear they glaze, you know, 23 likes. It's kind of wild. He doesn't get punished there on that last bit for that revenge counter, but that's because it was pretty much useless anyways. Super Saiyan 4 Goku comes out on top. And is there anybody that can stop this man? He got buffed, and he's so much better. He's winning all of his games. Is there anybody that can stand up against him? Yes.
This is where I take him down, boys. This is where I take him down. Take notes. Take notes.
Yep. Start taking notes. Go ahead. I'll go ahead and pull it out. It's too late. I already gave you a heads up.
I'm lying. I'm just gonna pick Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, see how it goes. You know, just for the theme, the thematic.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta just for the unique voice lines and have a little fun in some player match, and to see if Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's any good, because he also has some buffs. You know, we're gonna see if buffs can make any character viable, or some characters like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta just like iconic, very iconic here. Let's see what I could do.
Both of us are Super Saiyan 4. This is gonna be fun. Try and keep up, Vegeta. Silence! You're following my lead, got it?
Yeah, you're following my lead, Goku. Remember that, buddy. He opens up with a volley of Ki Blast. And I did not realize something that I don't like about the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. The same thing I do not like about the Super Vegito. And I was talking about earlier, excuse me, was that sidestep gut punch. This guy's sidestep gut punch is a Ki Blast. And that is absolutely terrible because, as you can see, I am just so vulnerable for such a long period of time there. And this is a terrible just sidestep special punch. It's absolutely horrid. And it's probably going to get you into more trouble than it's going to get you out of, if we're being honest here. And he's just laying on the hands. I get my vanishes done, which isn't terrible. And then he just perceptions me because I'm up against a rock. What am I going to do? I have 2 Ki. And like I said, he goes for the I'll beat you in 5 seconds. And then he actually messed up his rhythm here. I think that's what might have happened, because normally he goes for the I'll beat you in 5 seconds after he has the Ki. This time he did it before. But this time I go for the finish shine. I start charging up, like, dude, I don't know what he's going to do. He instant transmissions, and I block it. I sidestep with those terrible Ki blasts, and he's about to punish it until I use my explosive wave and incredible Ki into my super to destroy his Ki bar. And I think he just gave up. I'll be honest. I think he just gave up here. But for me, I'm gonna take this win to get to Z rank, man. You know, he could have recovered. He could have done something.
He didn't moving, so.
But look at this very cinematic finish by Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta to take care of Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I was not risking anything, man. I was like, I gotta beat this guy. 31,000 damage combo?
Well,
insane.
I guess he didn't know how to recover from that. We're just unbeatable. What did I tell you? Literally just as I wrote it up, didn't I? Man, just as I wrote it up, baby. I was like, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and lose this one on purpose. Then next time I fight him, I'm gonna beat him. And what happened? And what happened?
Yeah, who else do you know is landing 31,000 damage combos on Z rankers? You let me know, and I'll go check them out. But let's go ahead and get into one more fight here with a very powerful Vegito. Nope, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to pick Vegito again. And this time, I'm actually going to pick Broly because this is the other guy that I wanted on my DP team. Spoiler alert, my DP team was probably going to be Broly, Kale, and then some 4 rank, which might have been Gohan again. And then maybe just Mr. Satan in the back for that extra health bar, because sometimes the win conditions are very weird for ranked battles. But I wanted to see how good Broly was in the singles. And look, we're fighting now. This is... It ain't going to be pretty, right? Nah. Beerus is really the second God of Destruction. The first God of Destruction was Broly. Everybody knows that, man. And I'm over here trying to prove a point. Beerus starts out with a little more health than I do. But I do know if I transform into that legendary Super Saiyan form, I do get a little Ki back. I'm making sure to try to whittle this Beerus down here. I'm unsure if he's really good at Vanish Wards yet. You know, the Panish just came out. I don't know if he's good at it yet. I'm going to take advantage of that. I do take advantage of that. Get a lot of damage off on him. But since he does so much more damage, he hits me with a nasty little 5,000 combo to kind of slap me up. And then he just rips a raw super. Something that I was saying that a lot more people, and I'm seeing a lot more people just ripping the raw supers. And then he gets punished for it because he has no Ki. I am, for some reason, reaching with Broly in the wrong corner there. And I go for the perception on him. And I think there was another cinematic angle, just like there is for this uplift combo, when you perception into triangle. So I'll have to try that later. And I go for an insane super here. I thought it was something different. I didn't realize it was a chase down. But luckily, he activates his at the same time. He actually boosts a bar here and still loses that. Then rips the revenge counter. So he just lost a ton of skill counters and Ki, just to try to keep the engagement close and wear me down. But He doesn't have, I don't know if he doesn't have enough ki to follow up. There was just too much going on, but he doesn't follow up. I switch into Broly, get a little more ki, and I'm like, dude, this guy's probably going to beat me at this point. But then he just rips a raw super again. I charge up. He's charging. He lets me get off my ultimate. And I'm like, well, the ultimate's not as strong anymore. And I still always want to throw hands and not just rip unblockable ultimates. So I go try to throw some hands with Broly. And I put in a little bit of work, a little bit of vanishing and stuff, you know. I'm kind of getting some stuff. He revenge counters me a little bit. And I'm kind of near the end of my rope. My health bar is low. I throw some ki and I'm like, dude, I got to rip it.
Let's see if he can dodge. This is a lot slower now. A lot slower. But I have the key. Open up with the key. Oh,
yeah, you can hear the glee in the voice. But luckily I have enough skill counters to just pop my sparking again, which actually gives me a ton more buffs. And at this point I'm like, dude, he wants to go for the beam clash. That's the only reason he's getting that much distance.
Respectable, going for the beam clash. I messed with it. He could have just killed me,
and he could have just killed me, and he didn't. I you know, unsure. And then he just eats it.
Oh, I thought he was going for the beam clash, and he just kind of ran away from it and blew up. Who's the real God of Destruction?
Yes, that was just kind of an insane throw by that gentleman there.
Yeah.
That I figured he probably could have thrown anything to get that, or maybe I guess you can't block it. You have to vanish it. But as you can see later, this stuff is really not that hard to vanish with how slow it is now. If you get your timing down, dude, you're gonna be golden. Nobody's gonna be hitting with those anymore. And how would I block a Beerus one? Well, you know, I think we might find that out in the next game. Where are we going? We're going to the city ruins.
I guess we're just going to keep doing random character gauntlets.
I think I was trying to pick random characters here.
My reeling
from
team. Yep,
Broly.
me too. Yeah.
And I didn't want to play Yachirobe. I don't care how good that guy, you know, how fat that guy is, or how well loved he is by all two of his fan base. Not a fan of him. So I do rip Super Boo because I want to see if Super Boo is still good. I know I played him a little earlier, but you know, against a different caliber of characters, you know, they might be better or worse. So we're gonna get right into it against Super Vegito on the other side of the field this time. So this is kind of a little daunting. Starts out with a lot of health. Still a strong character, but I haven't seen him do too much after the patch. I might have to kind of lab with him and see what he could do. He tries taking the aggressive, and as you can see, he spams Perception a total of 2 times before I even really throw a punch at him. And that gave me a good idea of what kind of player he was. And I'm a big fan of sometimes not following up on the Banish Wars, because then you can just charge your ki. You know, they have to pursue you if they really want to get any advantage out of it. I ripped the Majin Beam here because I'm like, dude, I gotta turn Super Vegito into chocolate. It's the funnest thing in the game. It's lore accurate. I even boosted it there, so normally it does about 10,000 damage. This time it did about 12,000, so that boost difference from the patch notes is actually coming in big, and I do test it with a ton of different super attacks and things in the video if you've been paying a little bit of attention. And if not, don't worry, that's why I'm here. Let you know what to pay attention to, baby. So he's getting me a little bit of a knockback on me, but I'm sitting a lot healthier than he is. He's trying to spam some Ki Blast. I don't think this might be one of his first times playing Super Vegito. I get a super counter off there, and I am more than happy to go into the Vanish War because I'm like, dude, I got this down. I'm not going to be losing these anymore. I'm all for free damage on Super Vegito here. Going for just an insane amount of revenge counters because it does give him a ton of ki, actually. And he was able to even it out until he went for that Vanishing Assault, wasting a ki bar, and then putting himself below me.
We got to make it thematic.
And yeah, I had to make it more accurate.
Thematic.
Go into Buhan, the strongest Majin is born. Once again, another good transformation because I do start out with max ki after I transform. And I'm like, dude, I have to hit him with a Majin Beam.
Why he just standing
But he's
there?
perceptioning.
I'm going to turn him
So I'm
into
gonna
a
do it
cookie
again.
one more time.
Once again, going for the Vanishing Assault, but since he vanishes right next to me, I'm actually able to open him up and get past the Super Armor and make his Vanishing Assault a waste of one whole ki bar. We go into the Vanish Wars here, and I think there was a certain way I was trying to end him, but I wasn't able to get it. And I went for the After Image there. I didn't want to lose, because I was like, Super Vegito can still do a ton of damage if he's in the right combo. Even though this guy's in, you know, I haven't seen a ton of, like, combos come out from this guy. And at a point, I'm like, alright, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and KO him. I was like, maybe turn him into a box of chocolate again or something. But I'm like, nah, we're just going to go ahead and finish it with some hands. A punch to the face. Punch right to his throat.
He ain't beat me because I'm messing up. Not
and
today,
Buhan, he might have a little bit of usability. I don't know. I guess if you're not using super attacks as much, you won't get stuck in his weird posting he does. But he might be viable, and you might see him a little bit later on in some different videos. Alrighty, the last section of the video. If you made it this far, thanks for hanging out. We got some really good fights here. This last one being another Cooler entry because Cooler did get buffed, more so his final form than his base form. But he did get a buff, and it was once again... Yeah, as you can see, I'm starting to like, I'm like, dude, this guy wants to go again. Does he really wants to play me again? Well... I already know his patterns. I beat him once. Although it kind of was a little bit weird, right? Like, he just got his guard broken, and then he just stopped playing. But, hey, that's his problem, not mine, right? So I'm like, all right, this is a fair run back. This is a fair run back. And Cooler has that terrible sidestep where it's a Ki Blast. Just like Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Just like Super Saiyan Vegito. And it's absolutely a nightmare for me. I get him in a beautiful knockdown cinematic combo there. And I tried getting with it again, but he's prepared for it this time. I get a nice super counter off into a Vanish War, and he's happy to waste his Ki, charging me back down immediately. And I'm happy to let him. He rips the instant transmission off, but as you can see, it really did get a kind of hard nerf. It's only used for getting behind your opponent. They can still block it or something, but you're not going to be locked off for as long as you used to be able to. I go for a beautiful gut punch there. I think from perception, I was going to try to spam him. He hits me with one of these, but it's not 5 seconds. I'm going to beat you in 5 seconds boosted, so I know I'll live it. And I'm messing with my buttons, so yeah, my audio is a little messed up, but I might just be able to cut that out, baby. That's the wonderful thing about post-commentary. He goes for the Vanish Wars, my dude. I can beat him here. I'm good enough. I know I do it. And I put him in a little bit of a hurricane with these Vanishes here, hopefully trying to make the most of my sparking mode. I throw my ultimate. He vanishes it. I'm like, well, I might be screwed here. He has a little more health. He's probably going to do his signature. Yep, I'll beat you in 5 seconds. Instant transmission. But I'm ready for it. And I know all you have to do is guard. I don't even know what he did there. That's baffled me. As you can see, that was a stun move. Because my Cooler just stopped moving. I was in pure amazement.
How did he do that?
At what he did there. He did a donut. He did a donut with a rush attack. How did he do that? I don't think Goku has his license. I'm able to win the last bit of the Vanish War here and get some nice damage off into a Death Beam. Because that is only, I believe, a 2 Ki bar skill counter. And then finish him off with some Ki Blast.
Oh my god, he's still alive?
A very close game.
Okay,
but Metal Cooler.
Ooh,
Final Form Cooler, someone that I really, I'm getting a lot more familiar with. And I'm really liking how he plays. I like that he's just able to be big and just smack the hell out of anybody he wants. Speaking of... There might be a Beerus waiting for some revenge on the other side of this island's map. So what's going to happen this time against the Beerus? You know, he knows who I'm going to be picking for my team. I thought about playing Fusamoss. So I'm like, nah. Let's tone it down. That guy's a really high DP character. A lot of health. Let's just go ahead and tone it down. Just be the Z character. I'm kind of like flustered. I don't know who I want to pick. I'm looking at Majin Vegeta. And for some reason... I end up going with Gotenks. And regular Gotenks is not that great because he does a lot of poses and things that can be interrupted and punished by opponents.
I might lose on purpose.
These little animations and stuff that he gets stuck in after doing some attacks. So he's not the best, and this is actually my first time using him. But let's see how this turns out against Beerus, because this is actually a pretty funny fight. Pretty good fight. Like, I'd love to see this fight like in a movie or something, you know? It'd be kind of iconic. I guess any of the fusions against Beerus at this point. He starts the health advantage, charges, gets the Ki advantage, and there's that little pose I'm talking about, dude. It's going to punish you. Like, I could have used that time to charge, and I somehow hit him in a hard knockdown, or he just does not get back up. I'm able to punish him with a full power energy wave, and that makes the health a little more even. Oh, no, I'm a fusion, so I start with just about even health, I guess. I did not notice that before. Pardon me. And he takes the opportunity to go into sparking mode, and then throw an ult at me, but buddy, this is not the same patch that you played on before. This is going to be easier to banish.
Should be easier to vanish, I think. Right?
How does it go? How does it turn out? Ancient! And yeah, Goten is going to go ahead and try to end this quick. But, if you go into Super Saiyan Gotenks, yes, his donut volley has been nerfed. It's a lot slower for the Galactic Donuts. But he doesn't, I don't think he does those dumb little animations after a lot of those combos. I go ahead.
This might be slower. I don't know if I have footage of
my
this
super ultimate
this should
attack.
also be another.
It is unguardable, but it should also be slower. And yeah, he's able to dodge that by just going straight to the roof. So good on him. And that just wasted all my Ki. He's able to charge up, get in a sparking, and then chase me down with a bunch of pretty much infinite zebra stash. I am using my skills to try to deter him as much as I can. He steps back, I step back. I'm like, yo, I just gotta guard this. Either one of his supers I can guard against. The ultimate's the only one you have to banish. But I just did that, so I'm not too worried. I throw the high tension because it gives me key advantage. And then I vanish his cataclysmic orb, hit him with a victory cannon, because that really does secure my victory. He just was in a hard, like, throw animation. And I throw Galactic Donuts. Even though it's a lot slower, he just charges into me. Because as you can see, I think he was moving faster than the Galactic Donuts. He gets punished for it. And I think that is it. There's a couple more fights, but they're more me just spectating because I kind of got, you know, I was like, I got to go get some breakfast, man. I've been whooping ass for 2 hours. I'm hungry. So that is it for this video. If you made it this far, thank you very much. What do you guys think about the patch? Like I said, there's some things that could probably be tweaked a little bit, and it'll be a good patch. The big thing, obviously, fix that DP issue, man. And yes, I was terrified. I could not fight Booty Record 420. You are correct. He scared me. But I'll see you guys next time. Stay subscribed for some more videos like this. I'll be probably dropping and seeing how high I can go in ranked DP singles battles. Stay tuned for that.